Audio streaming on Twitch. Do 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 do. Waiting for the stream. Here we go. Do do do. It's working. Excellent. All right, we're not doing Dementia Radio, and recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast, brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hey, Devo Spice!
Hey, Luke Ski!
We have Jeff Whitmire on the show.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Jeff. And we will have a pre-recorded interview
Hi.
coming up later in the show with Jace McLean of Nuclear Bubble Wrap. And my bandwidth sucks, so there's an exceptionally long lag on Zoom right now. So this is going to be fun. All right. Welcome to episode 768 of the Funny Music Podcast for Thursday, March 6th, 2025. Title of this week's show is Hard to Find Statement. And it is not actually Thursday, March 6th. It is Tuesday, March 4th, because on Thursday, March 6th, I'm going to be driving. So we decided to do the show early rather than while I was driving, which would be a lot harder. So, all right, let's do this.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey, what?
Oh, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to?
Let's see what happened in the past week. I said hi to my neighbor Lindsay Smith, who lives in my building.
Yay,
So that was
Lindsay!
really cool. And you'll be able to say hi to her, this weekend when you're at MarsCon.
I
so
will.
Everyone gets to see Lindsay and give her hugs. I I watched the Oscars with Tony Goldmark and his girlfriend Kit, which was fun. Oh, but before that, I did a caricature gig at a country club in Westlake Village that was put together by a company I haven't worked with before, and this company, I have to assume, is paying some kind of licensing fees to Disney, because they had it was basically, a giant Disney-themed party. They had characters there. They had, these cardboard cutout kind of standees, not cardboard, wooden painted standees of all these characters. All the decorations were Disney. All the food was Disney-themed. They had bouncy houses that had Disney stuff on them. And they had a bunch of different type of artist people there. So I was one of 4 caricature artists. There was a balloon person. There was a person airbrushing names into hats. There was a person doing green screen photos and stuff. And yeah, it was a 2-hour gig. And it was also, I had to draw them in color, which is not what usually happens at gigs like that. But, the gig went well. But I was just kind of blown away as I was walking in, because they literally made a giant sign recreating the classic 1960s Disneyland sign.
Oh, wow.
Where with the fancy font, and each letter had its own thing. It's I was walking in oh my god, So I mean, because I know there's other companies that kind of squeak by and get away with it by they advertise Mermaid Princess, and then she shows up and she looks like Ariel.
Yeah.
But because they don't call her Ariel the Little Mermaid, they just give them a close enough name so it's wink wink nudge nudge,
Yeah.
and Disney can't go after them. But this one, it was thoroughly all out, just everything.
Like Ricky Rouse and Model
So
Muck.
yeah, that was exactly Sherry Bobbins.
My favorite episode of The
So
Simpsons.
yeah, there was that, and then and then where did I go? Oh yeah, so then I got back to my place. Tony and Kit and I watched the Oscars, and I'll talk more about that later. But then after the Oscars, we recorded episode 2 of Luke Ski's Animation and Stuff podcast with Tony and Kit as my guests, and what we did for that episode is on my previous animation podcast, there was this recurring thing where me and the co-host would watch would watch like the old Saturday morning preview specials that used to air on TV back in the day, starting from about 1982. Going forward to as many as we could find that were put out on YouTube, and I had actually made a spreadsheet of this, and we had gotten through like almost all of them. There were a couple like near the end, back in the late 90s, early 2000s that we hadn't gotten to yet, but it was like, whatever. But there was one from 1983 that we specifically were kind of waiting to do because we knew that it was a longer special, and that, we kind of were saving it to be like our big final hurrah in doing this bit. And then that podcast ended and we didn't get around to it. So I decided, since Tony is the host of Escape from Vault Disney, where they watch things and then talk about them, that's what I would do for episode 2 of the Animation and Stuff podcast, is have Tony on, and we would watch this preview special and then talk about it. If you want to watch it yourself before the episode airs, or the episode gets posted, which we probably won't post it until mid-March because... Well, like another week and a half-ish, because I'm moving out to Irvine on Friday to start everything having to do with taking care of Kalani and everything. So the editing... Oh, that's another thing. We used Tony Goldmark's recording equipment to do it. So I actually have the files of, like, individual microphone, like me and Tony and Kit. So basically, when I edit this episode, I'm pretty much editing an episode of Escape from Vault Disney. So it's going to be a longer editing process than usual, and I'll probably end up inserting sound bites from the TV show too, just for the heck of it, to overall increase the entertainment value. So whenever I post that, it'll be hopefully by mid-March it'll be out. But yeah, the special is from 1983, and it was for NBC, and it was called the First Annual Yummy Awards. And it stars Ricky Schroeder and Dwight Schultz, who at the time was playing Howling Man Murdoch on the A-Team, but most people, our age know him as Lieutenant Reginald Barclay from Star Trek The Next Generation and Voyager. It was a really fun episode because we at first we talked about stuff having to do with the Oscars and the movies that were nominated and ended up winning for animated feature, and then we got into the Yummy Awards special, which was filmed right down the street from where I live here on Alameda, where Alameda and Olive intersect. Is where the old NBC Studios building used to be, where like the Tonight Show was for decades, and they filmed lots of classic soap operas there. But now NBC moved over to by Universal Studios, so now that building is just called the Burbank Studios and has like whatever people renting that place out to film it. But it's just weird because it's the same. They haven't changed the front of the building. So when I first living down to my drive, I'm like, that's where the Yummy Awards happened. So. Anyway, let's see. What else can I talk about? Oh, I was on Steve Goody's virtual comedy show, so you can watch that on YouTube if you missed it. It was a lot of fun. Just getting stuff done. Got some caricature work finished up, and trying to keep on top of things and make sure I'm getting things done that I need to get done before I head out to live in Irvine for about 3 weeks. So yeah. Anyway, what have you been up to, Devo Spice?
I have been planning for MarsCon, more planning for MarsCon, and even more planning for MarsCon. And I have just so much to do. I was up till 3 last night working on stuff, and I will probably be up late again tonight because I don't want to be up late tomorrow night because Thursday morning I'm leaving for MarsCon. So I'm trying to get as much as I can done tonight and tomorrow morning. But I finished up the CDs for the Best of the FuMP volume for 2024. Those are ready. I will have those with me. I am currently burning the FuMPFest 2024 compilation, which I managed to get done. So those will be done. And just practicing my songs and practicing. But while I was stuffing CDs, I like to put stuff on to watch because it's kind of mind-numbing to just fold and cut and fold and cut. So I went through my watch list I have a spreadsheet of things I've been wanting to watch. And one thing jumped out at me that was like, oh, I should have watched that a long time ago. Haven't seen it yet. Let me put that on. Because especially since it's not something I need to pay attention to, it's something I can just listen to. And that is Rachel Bloom's Netflix special. Have you seen that?
Oh, that's been, like, I've been meaning to watch that, but I always am afraid that I'm going to get distracted. But yeah, isn't the name of it Death Let Me Do My Special?
Yes, it is. And
yeah,
it's great. It's very funny, but holy shit, it is like deep and sincere and heart-wrenching. Like, I cried multiple times. And it's like, I thought this was a comedy special, Rachel. What are you doing to me? But it is really funny. It's really good. There's some great songs in it. But holy shit, I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I know that the kind of basic beginning of her working on that was she got the Netflix deal. Like, Netflix, like, hey, you know, sign the deal. We're giving you a special, Rachel Bloom. And then the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
And then now she was like trying to figure out what she was going to do for a show, but you know, all these people across the country and the world are dying, and it was so hard. It was such a weird mental whiplash going between I want to do my silly comedy music special / live stage show versus everything happening in the world. So that's where the whole concept of death, please let me do my show. Or let me do my special, you know, came from.
Yeah,
so,
she spends a lot of time talking about death, people she was afraid were going to die who didn't, people who she didn't think were going to die who did, and it's just it's kind of brutal, but it's really good. So highly recommend it. But yeah,
I remember Bo Burnham got
to
me like that too when he did.
Oh yeah.
When Bo Burnham did his quarantine special too, because he's hilarious, and he got me like that too, because so many hilarious, funny songs and everything, and he got deep. He got into the mental health side of things and all that. And I don't know, there's just something really cathartic when a comedy special can juxtapose like that and be very funny, but also very moving.
Yeah.
I
still have to see the Rachel Bloom one though.
It's great. She starts it off with a song called "The Cum Tree," so and it goes from there. It's great. Yeah, it's fun for the whole family. It's funny. She talks like that. She starts talking about the tree that the song is about, and then she's like, "And I noticed there's a child in the front row over here." So, yeah, highly recommended. So, Jeff, what have you been up to?
Working on an album, life stuff, work, all that, typical, the usual stuff, but also working on the album. We just, pounded through a couple songs, and we're working on a couple. I'm working on a big one that I've been really excited to do because of the guest artist on it, is very, associated with the song. And, so we're working on that one right now. The little side projects come along and I do them and I go is that going to be on the album? But yeah, working on the album, trying to put together a good solid collection of songs. Watching a lot of horror, of course. Whenever I get a free moment, every year I do what they call, I should say, what we called, a few of us 3 years ago started the Horror 365 challenge, and the goal is to watch 365 horror movies of the year. Some of us took it a step further and said it has to be 365 that we've never seen before. So I'm always trying to chip away at that whenever I can, get some in. There's a new streaming service called FuMP, which is just found footage movies. So I've been using that one a lot to supplement Screenbox, which is my favorite. And then I also just recently got to announce that this year I'm actually going back to Creature Feature in Gettysburg, and I will be performing there. And this year I'm opening for Chris and Melissa LaMartina's band. Chris LaMartina, probably best known for doing the WNUF special. And Melissa is in a lot of his movies, and she actually just directed one this year that's coming out this month, and also opening for Tim Capello, the shirtless saxophone player from the Lost Boys. So, so I'm really, really excited about that. The guest list is awesome. They have people from they have the Rhonda from Tremors there, Billy from Silent Night, Deadly Night. So I'm like, wow, they're making my playlist really easy now. My set list. Like a Tremor song, Silent Night, Deadly Night. I'm like, all right, this is. I don't even have to think about this one.
Jeff's like, who else you got?
So,
Bring it on. I got a
to
song ready.
Yeah. Just start packing in people that are in movies I've done songs for, and we're good. We're good to go. Because I do want to do some newer stuff this year. I want to do some of the other things like Cenobite and Shark Movie. I'm sure are going to be in there, but yeah, I wanted to get some new stuff in there. And I want to do the song that's on tonight actually there as well. So,
speaking of the song that's on tonight,
but that's at the end of the month. Speaking of the song,
yeah,
speaking of the Academy Awards,
give us a quick intro to the song, and we will give it a listen.
Okay, so this is first of all a spoiler alert. I did put that in my post as well too. The song is about the movie The Substance, which was awesomely nominated for a bunch of awards this year at the Academy Awards, which you don't usually see in horror movies.
Yeah, horror usually
cool,
doesn't get nominated.
And then we had 3 this year. We had The Substance, Nosferatu, and Alien Romulus all had noms, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm also doing a Nosferatu song. So, but yeah, so I wanted to do a song about The Substance because it is one of my favorite movies from last year. I think it's absolutely amazing. The performances are great. I was rooting for Demi to take the actress award. Coralie Fergiet, who did the movie Revenge as well, directed. So I wanted to do a song about that. That just seemed like I found what I thought was the perfect song to go along with it. Albeit with a big spoiler in the chorus, and that would be Chappell Roan's "Hot to Go." So this is my song about The Substance.
Here it is.
5, 6, 7 days. Thinking about your youth, all those years you've missed them. Take a shot of green straight into your system. Age don't mean a thing, girl, you know you're pretty. Damn, your boss is foul, yeah, he's acting shitty. Clear to me you want to be
And I'll just leave you with one thing that I think this movie is imparting is in those moments when we don't think we're smart enough or pretty enough or skinny enough or successful enough or basically just not enough. I had a woman say to me, just know you will never be enough, but you can know the value of your worth if you just put down the measuring stick. And so today, I celebrate this as a marker of my wholeness and of the love that is driving me and for the gift of doing something I love and being reminded that I do belong. Thank you so much.
Labels, we got you, but do you got us? Thank you.
Nice. Excellent.
Oh, you showed the video.
I did show the video, yes.
Oh, okay. Hopefully we don't get a content warning.
We will. I don't care anymore. Like, I swear, like over
I'm a
half
walking
of the
content warning.
FuMPcast, yeah, like over half of the FuMPcasts up on YouTube all have like a copyright, thing, notice or whatever. It's not a strike.
Yeah.
It's just, and most of the time it's from the songs we're playing because like the artist already put their stuff somewhere else and
yeah, we'll let you keep it up, but we're just taking your money, basically.
Yeah. Or it's like they'll strike a song that I put in the promo because the FuMP already published it,
right?
And it's like it's our song.
I always like to look down my list every once in a while because I think I have like 4 songs that don't have a copyright claim on them, and it's funny to me which ones don't. Like, Weird Al is one for tickets in Sarasota. Doesn't have one, which I'm like, that would have been ironic if that would have been claimed.
Yeah, but again, like with everything, it's all the algorithm. Al doesn't have any say in the matter.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know.
I remember back when I was trying to get the album Unconventional released in time to surprise release it at Gen Con, and I was doing it through I think it was Oasis CDs, and I was waiting to hear back from them about everything being okay and things were going to be fine with getting it all printed. And then they sent me a message back basically saying they had flagged one of my songs for some kind of copyright issue, and the song they flagged was my song about Ren and Stimpy that was a parody of the Public Enemy and Anthrax cover of Public Enemy with Anthrax doing the song Bring the Noise, and like that was the one on the album, not Grease Wars, the song that's a 13.5-minute medley of literally every song from Grease parodied.
Right.
And I was like, why that one? And I remember being like really upset about it because it was potentially going to ruin my plan, but I actually for advice I called God rest her soul, Tony Goldmark's mother, Kathy Kamen Goldmark, because she had worked in the record industry like to some degree before, and I wasn't sure what to do. So she basically said, "Well, go get a Harry Fox license for the song you parodied, and then show them that you paid for that license, and then it should be fine." And that's what I did, and then it was fine, and the album came out on time. It wasn't until many, many, many years later it finally hit my brain, because the people at Oasis, they just say red flag and they don't give you any other information.
Right.
So it finally dawned on me that during in the original song, there's kind of a breakdown where they're just kind of going like for a bunch of measures, so there's no actual lyrics there. So in my version of it, I had us all start singing and had the music change to happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. So I'm guessing the copyright strike was on happy, happy, joy, joy.
Right, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Because we didn't change it enough, and it's like, well, whatever. It doesn't matter anymore anyway. It's been forever. I'm so glad that we're at a point where none of us has to kowtow to that stuff just to get, CDs made. You can go to people like Devo Spice and get your short runs of CDs made.
Yes, I have you.
Or you can.
I have you sign a disclaimer that you own all the rights, and then I don't care. It's your problem.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Because it's only ever going to be a problem if any of us actually become successful enough that anybody notices what we're doing.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway.
So so tell us about. Go ahead.
Oh, what were you gonna say, Luke?
Oh, no, I was just gonna say that I told Tony, like, please be sure to see The Substance before you come over to watch the Oscars, because I would bet money that there's going to be that Conan O'Brien is going to do some kind of bit having to do with The Substance during the Oscars, and I want you to understand what's going on.
Right.
So he did, and I was right. Conan did do a bit at the Oscars that was really great. It wasn't the bit that I thought he was going to do. If I could like. The bit I was envisioning that he was going to do would be like he'd, Conan would be doing it in the middle of his monologue, and then he'd tell like one or two jokes that like were that kind of fall flat, like the audience isn't like they're just bad jokes, like, and then he's like, hey, okay, excuse me a minute, and then he would run off stage, and we'd see him run to that to that white bathroom room with the grid walls, and then he opens up the secret door, and that Billy Crystal would be laying on the floor in a tux, and then like he'd go up behind Billy Crystal with a syringe, like getting this juice out of Billy Crystal so that he could like stab it in himself, and Billy would just be awake, like, oh hi, how you doing, Conan? So they could do some shtick, and then have Conan like inject Billy Crystal juice into himself, and then come back outside and be like, hey, and like whatever next joke he tells would just kill and be awesome. So yeah,
they did. What was it? Him coming out of like Demi Moore, like.
Yeah.
It's right. Okay.
Yeah, we see her taking the substance, and then it's like she falls on, and then we see the like special effect of Conan emerging like completely dressed in the tux.
Right.
and then one of his shoes fell off, so he had to like climb back into Demi Moore to find his other shoe. So it was a great bit.
I'll have to look that up. I didn't watch the Oscars, so I was busy with MarsCon. So.
Yeah.
So tell us about this song.
Yeah, well, I knew I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do "Hot to Go." I wanted to do a song "Hot to Go" because one thing I noticed about a lot of stuff I do is I pretty much just go where the song is. Like the Zeno, was holding out for Hero. So it's like I'll hear the song on the radio and then I'll think of the idea. So, but I wanted to do something modern. Something very Weird Al, where you're doing everything modern, a new popular movie and a new popular song. And I wanted to do Hot to Go. And I think when I first thought of the idea, my original idea was to do it about Asian ghost horror, because a lot of the big ghost and Asian horror, would work. SADAK, KAYAK, from The Ring and The Grudge. So that was our first idea. And then I was thinking about the Substance after the first time I had watched it. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I was like, MONSTRO. Monstro Lisatsu, the big reveal at the end. I'm like, MONSTRO. I'm like, oh, that works. I'm like, I have to roll with that. And so, yeah, that was one where I sat down there. I watched the movie again because I love, I always like to watch the movie when I'm, jot down notes and, so I don't, so I can catch things. And when I was writing this one, I actually got really giddy. About lines, like because I wanted to mention like respect the balance. So when I said blood's about the poor, not pints but gallons, I guess that's why they said to respect the balance. I kind of did a little that was a good one. So when I thought of every row is a splash zone at the end, I was sitting at the dining room table and I was typing and I was working on my things and I just broke into laughter. And my wife was like, what? I'm like, ooh, and I called her over and she had seen the Substance and was not a fan because she's not into gory horror. So I said, I thought of a line and I told her what she was and she just gave me this look and walked away. And she's like, there's something wrong with you. And but I knew I wanted to lead up to the ending being, the big crowd scene and everything, because that's what so many people remember from the movie is that ending. So yeah. Or that's the point that splits people after you watch the movie.
Yeah, no, I thought the ending was great, but I was really impressed with the makeup effects that they had. Like when
yeah.
Like when Demi had that like one old leg, it was like and foot, and I'm like, like wow, like that looks real.
And the sounds like when she's like trying to move it to get over to the package.
Yeah,
and, like she's like and you get like. But yeah, just but it's just such a great movie. I watched it with my daughter, my oldest daughter, who wanted to watch it, so it was my third time, and just the all the little metaphors that are snuck in there, like the fly stuck in the wine glass, and so many little subtle things that you see, I think, are so well done in that movie. And when I had the idea, and I originally sent out to, I mentioned it to a few people. I said, "Well, what do you think? This is, what do you think about this idea?" And I sent the lyrics, and I did a demo, and I sent it out to it. And I actually really wanted to know what some of my female friends thought, because as gonzo, as crazy as that movie gets, it's also a very serious movie. It's a very serious message about the treatment of women as they age, and so I wanted to. I said, they all said the same thing. They said it's gonna be a fun song. It's gonna be funny. Just make sure you do it like they do. Make sure you keep all that in mind. And so when I was doing the lyrics and doing the idea for the video and everything, I really wanted that to be something that I highlighted. That's still very much the spirit of the movie. And that was one thing we thought about. Yeah. Kind of a group thought of when I was brainstorming with people was to put those speeches at the end, the Demi Moore speech. Or someone said put Demi's speech, and then I said, well, if I'm going to put Demi, I'm going to put Chappell Roan as well, because they both won huge awards this year. Mm-hmm. And whenever I do a song, I always like to say, whenever I do a song, it's a tribute to the movie and the song. I wanted to make sure that was there, while still having, hopefully, it be a really funny song.
Yeah, I think it's great. I loved it. I like it when people do songs about movies I really like. So it's
Hopefully, I've done a few.
It's an easy win for me. Yeah. No, I think Cenobite is my favorite song of yours.
Right. Well, this one was like, so this is the same thing. Cenobite, I always like to say, was one of the perfect storms, because it was one where from the time I got the idea to the time it was done was such a easy process. It just flowed from the lyrics to the work and all that. This one felt a lot like that too. It was like the whole time I just absolutely was loving what I was doing. Sometimes I have the idea and I sit down to do it, and about halfway through the song, and I'm sure everyone gets this, it felt like work. Like, it feels like work sometimes. Like, oh, where am I going with this? Should I have done this as a medley? Can I fill this song out? With this one, and like Cenobite, it just was something that the whole thing just felt very fun and just flowed.
Yeah, nicely done.
Thank you.
So tell us about these appearances you have coming up.
So I've got one gig booked so far this year. That's going to be a creature feature, which is at the end of March. I'm blanking on the date. It's the last weekend of March. And I'm going to be actually doing two shows: the Friday night VIP show, and the Saturday show. And this is at the Creature Feature Convention, which is in Gettysburg, which is a really cool convention. Because it's a medium-sized one, very cozy, very laid back. But they got a really good. Tommy Chong's actually going to be there this year.
Cool.
As one of the featured guests.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I know I don't know how it's going Friday, but I know Saturday I'm definitely opening for Tim Capello from The Lost Boys. So that's as a huge horror fan as a kid, that movie means so much to me. So to be able to be in the same room and opening and singing with him is I'm ecstatic about that. I'm really excited.
If I had any money, I'd come. Good, but because I could do Gettysburg. Gettysburg is, it's drivable for me. So.
That's not bad for you. That's not really bad for you. Yeah,
it's like 3 or 4 hours, something like that. I would imagine. I haven't actually mapped it out from here, but
right. It's an hour and a half from me, and then I know we've got that little chunk between us from where I am to you. One of these days I got to get I keep working. I got to get a gig over at Monster Mania in New Jersey.
Mm. Yeah, you do.
Because Monster Mania does 3. They do 3 shows every year: one in Maryland, one in PA, and one in New Jersey.
That's not the same as Chiller Theater, is it?
No. Chiller Theater is another one. Actually, I really wanted to get the Chiller last year because Eric Freeman was there, and I did a song for about Ricky from Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. And I actually I emailed it. Someone said gave me a connection and told me where I could send it. I actually sent the song to Eric Freeman, who plays Ricky in that. He got back to me and he said, "I love this." And he's like, I've listened to it like 10 times and it gets funnier every time. I was like, oh, that was
Nice.
awesome. That made my day.
Yeah, Chiller's the end of April. I like New Jersey conventions do an absolutely horrible job of advertising to New Jersey residents. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know what their problem is.
I would imagine, yeah, right. And Chiller
convention is
last year. They got a good guest list.
the Chiller convention is taking place at the hotel that I'm contemplating moving FuMPFest to. So maybe I should go just to scope out the venue.
Oh yeah, that would be
Oh, that's funny.
Who's on the guest list for that one?
Let me see. Gina Gershon.
That would be cool if FuMPFest was in Jersey. That would be an easy hop.
Muse Watson, Geraldo Rivera. They always get weird people.
What? What?
Michael Madsen.
For Chiller?
Yeah. Patricia Peters, who played one of the Deadites in Army of Darkness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alexis Knapp, Hannah Mae Lee, Loretta Swit from MASH. I didn't know she was still alive.
Yeah.
And Jamie Farr. They must be doing a reunion.
Yeah, sounds that way.
John Ratzenberger.
Creature
from
feature
Cheers.
every year they check. Oh wow, yeah.
And from every Pixar movie.
Yeah, Mr. Potato Head. Yeah, right.
Jim J. Bullock.
Wow. And this is Chiller, right?
Yeah, this is Chiller. I'm just looking to see if there's
Creature
any other
feature
names
every year. I
recognize.
know a lot of cons like to do a reunion. Right. At CF, they're going to be doing a Fright Night reunion. They have,
nice.
Like 3 or 4 of the cast of Fright Night there. Yeah.
I was at Chiller once when they did a Willy Wonka reunion with the kids.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And I think that was the same one where I saw Tracy Lords.
Wow.
Of all people to have at a horror convention. Tracy Lords. Sure, why not?
What? She was in Tommyknockers.
Okay,
Tommyknockers,
fair.
So I guess.
God, there's a ton of people. I don't know any of them.
Wow, that's a...
Oh, well.
Yeah, that would be really cool, though, if FuMPFest was over in Jersey. That'd be neat.
Yeah, I got to talk. I got to talk to the venue and blah blah blah, and see if I can come up with some money because again, got no money. So anyway,
Yeah.
do you have anything you'd like to plug?
My YouTube channel, Jeff Whitmire 47, is where I post all the videos to the songs, and then I have my Bandcamp page, jeffwhitmire.bandcamp.com, and that's where my first horror album, Stabby Road, and my first album, Deep Fried Superhero is. You can buy the physical and digital, and that's where direct-to-video is going to be when it gets done, which I'm shooting for this year. That's the game plan, so I stop changing the set list.
Yep. I know the feeling. All right.
Do you feel seen by that?
Oh yeah. I feel attacked. All right.
Sorry.
So, are you gonna stick around for the rest of the show, or are you taking off?
I'm gonna hop off. I gotta. I'm working on a song right now, so I want to come back into that.
So, have fun. Good luck with the song.
All right. Well, have a good night, everyone.
And we will catch you next time.
Yeah, great job. Awesome having you here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
Later.
Good night.
The world's longest-running comedy music concert series is back.
So this song is about following your dreams and never giving up. It's also about the Hulk.
MarsCon 2025 is taking place March 7th through 9th at the Hilton Minneapolis St. Paul Mall of America Hotel in Bloomington, Minnesota.
Can I get a celebratory woo? Woo! Thank you.
This year's event will have performances by Worm Quartet, Devo Spice, The Great Luke Ski, Insane Ian, Carrie Dalby, Meow Mean, Steve Goody, Nuclear Bubble Wrap, The Odd Ditties, Holy Bongwater, Regdar and the Fighters, Primordial Pouch, and this year's comedy music guests of honor, sponsored by Needlejuice Records, John S. Hall and Dog Bowl of King Missile Dogfly Religion.
I don't go to recitals anymore because my hearing is too sensitive, and I don't go to art galleries anymore because there are people people there, and I can't deal with people.
Registration for a weekend badge is $55 until January 31st. After that, it'll be $70 at the door. To pre-register and for more info on MarsCon, visit marscon.org.
Please continue to hold. Your comedy music will be with you shortly.
You are currently the 27th caller in line.
But whether you're attending or not, you can still help out by ordering the MarsCon 2025 Comedy Music Fundraiser album. Available as an MP3 download for just $30. It's just under 4 hours of highlights from all of the live concerts of MarsCon 2024.
Guys like prop comedy? Well, I don't. Next track.
This year's album includes comedy music by MarsCon 2024's music guest of honor, Andy Merrill, also known as Brack.
This is what it sounds like when dogs cry. Ah, oh my gosh! Oh my God! Nobody will give me bread.
If you'd like to hear a free 30-minute preview of the collection, there's a link to download that at our website.
I need moisture. Can I get a moisture?
Moisture, moisture, moisture.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
You can order and download the album right now from the shop page at marsconcomedy.com.
These are all dumb parody ideas, and that's the point. It's supposed to be dumb. We're dumb for doing them. You're dumb for being here. Our next contestant.
Thanks for listening, Funny Music fans, and we hope to see you all at MarsCon 2025.
We did it, everybody! We're going to the moon!
Last year I took my pants off. This is as close as you're getting.
Time for Funny Music News. Something, something, something.
In the news, Weird Al has released a hard-to-find statement about his Facebook page being hacked. He says, apologies for all the weird random garbage that got posted to my feed in the last 48 hours. Unfortunately, my Facebook account got hacked, but I've got control once again, so I just wanted you to know that going forward, all the weird random garbage will actually be coming from me. So, glad Al got that sorted. All of the Ogden Edsel albums are now on Spotify. I don't know if they weren't before, but I got an email from Bill Frenzer saying that they are. So this includes the 2009 album I'm Happy Now, the classic Stuffed album from 1977, and Mower of the Ogden Edsel from 1995. All available now on Spotify. Search for Bill Frenzer and Ogden Edsel, and you will find it. We have a couple of new releases coming out this Friday. I have mentioned them in the past, but just as a reminder, Say What by Ray Stevens comes out on the 7th, and also Canadian Famous by the Arrogant Worms comes out on the 7th. They should be available on streaming on that day. And finally, MC Lars announced that his wife Ash is having a baby any day now. They've apparently kept the pregnancy quiet, but baby number 2 is due very soon. In fact, Lars had to cancel his Philadelphia concert due to some unexpected complications, but he says everything is fine. So big congratulations to Lars and Ash, and we wish them all the best.
So here's the thing. Lars's first name is Andrew, and his wife is Ash, and their first kid is Atlas. So what A-name do we want to guess is going to be the name of the other kid, of the next kid? I'm guessing Archimedes.
You know what? Yeah, knowing Lars, that's definitely a possibility.
And I'm glad we're recording this, so that way if I'm right, we can send this clip to Lars, and he'll owe me a Coke or something. I don't know.
I'm going to say Astrid, if it's a girl.
Ooh, Astrid. Okay.
All right. So those are our official guesses. So when the baby's born, we'll find out. All right, Luke, you got MarsCon news?
Well, yeah. Just to update the fundraiser for the last time before the event, at least updating it, here on this podcast. As we have said before, the initial goal of $1,021.02 was reached. Hooray! The stretch goal is another $1,021.02. So we are up to, just that second goal amount, we are up to $366.95 as of today, which is 36% of the way towards that goal, with 3 days until MarsCon. So if we were to sell 23 more copies of the album over the next 3 days, we would hit that goal. So whatever we end up making, I'm going to split it, between the 4 rooms, the people who are, paying for them on their credit cards or whatever to make sure that they're covered. And I will give a shout out to the people this past week who ordered the fundraiser after I did another promotional push, which is Jimmy Shaw, Dwayne Maggart, Brian Sebi, Jacob Holler, Michael Carbonneau, Jace McClain of Needle Juice Records and Nuclear Bubble Wrap. And while the show was happening just a few minutes ago, Arthur Brazier Jr., Mr. Arthur, ordered it. So thank you so much to all you guys for continuing to support all the funny musics that are happening out in the Twin Cities. Other news, I get to keep on the MarsCon tip, Carrie Dalby reached out to me to let me know that due to just her life being, incredibly busy with everything she has going on, she needs to cancel doing the 30-minute Carrie Dalby main stage concert that she had planned on doing on Sunday. So I adjusted the calendar to, the schedule to move Insane Ian's concert up to starting at 1, and then having a 15-minute buffer time break after him, and then Dog Bowl, and then another 15-minute buffer break after him, and then we'll do the Dumb Parody Ideas contest, and then the Comedy Music Smackdown. So the advantage of that is, besides buffer time generally being a good thing, is that way Ian can hopefully, between Dog Bowl and the beginning of the Dumb Parody Ideas contest, he can actually use that 15-minute buffer time to get everybody's information so that we can just launch right into doing the contest, when it's supposed to start at 2:30. So that's a thing. I already mentioned last week about the artwork and the lyrics and stuff, right? That I'm selling at Table 27.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I have shipped that off to Stephanie, who's going to give it to Janice, and the pieces are going to be the ones that are going to be at set prices are going to be either 20, 25, or 30, and then the ones that we think are going to that are a bit more valuable, we're doing a kind of make us an offer, silent auction kind of deal to see who may get what. So yeah, that's what's happening there. So go to Table 27. On the social media front, I decided to just because I realized, I started an Instagram for MarsCon Comedy, but not a Threads. I don't know how much big of a deal that makes, big of a difference that makes, but whatever. I started a Threads because they're both the same company anyway. One forces you to have pictures and the other one doesn't because it was trying to, take over for Twitter. But, pretty much Blue Sky won that contest, seemingly. But nonetheless, at MarsCon Comedy on Threads as well, if that is your thingy thing. Let's see. I put out a Lutski update. Was there any significant news there? I plugged Random Acts of Horror Episode 3 that I was on of Devo Spice's podcast.
Thank you.
Where we watched the Season 1, Episode 7 of the Italian horror series Curon, which was befuddling, amongst other things. I plugged White Kids Love Hip Hop at the FuMP. I plugged Ian Has Made of Beans at the FuMP. I plugged that Lawyer Up is nominated for a Logan Award. Yay, Devo Spice!
Yay!
And yeah, just a general reminder, hey, I have a new animation podcast. It's called Luke Sees Animation Stuff Podcast. First episode, my guest is Devo Spice. We talk about the animated films of 2024, and it's a good old time. It's a hoot. So go find it on your favorite podcasting thingy, or you can go to luke.ski/podcast, and please follow us on our Facebook page. And if you want to leave comments there for us to read on a future episode that I may or may not read, go to find us on Facebook. Just type in Luke Ski's Animation and Stuff Podcast, and you'll find it. And you can find the podcast on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, and other places. People have told me if they found it popping up other places too. So that's all the news I got.
All right, tour dates on Sundays.
One other.
Good.
Just literally today, we've lost another awesome person on this planet who made funny music that we love. George Lowe, the voice of Space Ghost from Space Ghost Coast to Coast, as well as being the voice of Brack's dad on the Brack Show. and he did many other awesome things. He passed away at the age of, I believe, 67. And yeah, so it's a bummer to have lost him, especially knowing that we also lost C. Martin Croker, back in the mid 2010s. So both Space Ghost and Zorak have passed on, unfortunately. Andy posted a thing about it on his social media, Andy Merrill, and he obviously seems pretty bummed about it, but so our thoughts are with Andy, and major respect to George Lowe, the Space Ghost, and the 2 Cartoon Planet albums they put out, full of him doing all those songs that may or may not have been improvised and other bits. So a bunch of people are posting Space Ghost songs on the Dr. Demino Facebook group today. So I hope Barry plays some this weekend. Anyway, sorry, I just wanted to mention that. So go back to the tour dates.
Speaking of Andy, I've been meaning to ask you, did you ever send him the link to Ian is Made of Beans?
I did not specifically send him a link to that.
Okay.
But, it came out during a time when I was busy with Kalani and doing things, so it didn't occur to me.
I was just wondering. Like, I didn't ask you to. I was just wondering if you were like, oh, I bet you Andy would enjoy this. Or
Yeah.
All right, tour dates. On Sundays in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goody hosting at the Bluebird. Sundays online, 2 Sleeps. Mondays online, Steve Goody and Brad Tassel at virtualcomedyshow.com. Mondays and Tuesdays online, Bill Larkin. On the 6th in Chicago, Illinois, Steve Goody. On the 7th in Clovis, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. On the 7th online, Carla Ulbrich. The 7th through 9th in Bloomington, Minnesota, MarsCon. On the 8th in San Francisco, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. On the 13th in Cave Junction, Oregon, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. On the 14th in Fort Anne, New York, Drew Jacobs. On the 14th in New York, David W. Jacobson. And the 14th and 15th in Grants Pass, Oregon, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. All right. Second song
Hey, from my end, it looks like you're... Hey. Oh. Yeah, from my end, it looked like the image of you had completely frozen.
Yeah,
so
my bandwidth keeps dropping to 0. So
yeah,
it's yeah.
And I also wanted to clarify for everybody that when I said Carrie was canceling her main stage concert, she's still going to be there, and she will probably be involved with Dumb Parody Ideas and the SmackDown concert, and she will most certainly be on stage performing as a part of Meow Meme's set on Friday night. Making that happen, because Meow Meme, has new songs and things will happen. So yeah. Anyway, just want to clarify that she'll still be there.
All right, second song of the week. This new one by you'll find out, by Nuclear Bubble Wrap. Here is Shake.
Shake off your wiener. 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 Check it out. Shake off your wiener. Shake off your wiener. Radical. Shake off your wiener. 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 Shake off your wiener.
I'm here with Jace McLean of Nuclear Bubble Wrap. How you doing, Jace?
Hello there. I'm good. I'm prepping for MarsCon.
So am I. So we should keep this short.
Yeah.
So tell us about this song. I'm afraid to ask what inspired it.
Yeah. So this song is called Shake, and up until this point, it has been a mysterious, hidden song that nobody has really known how to access, but now it is online and it can be heard in its glory because the people demanded it be on streaming. And I was like, well, I'm not just going to put it on streaming like as a single or anything. So I'm going to let the FuMP do that. How about that?
I mean, that works for me. So how could people have access to this song before?
Yeah, so it's a hidden track on our album Problematic on the physical formats. And it actually is a bonus track in the Bandcamp download. But it was on the CD. It's hidden in the pre-gap before track one, so you have to rewind before track one to access it. On the vinyl, it's hidden behind a locked groove, so you have to manually move the needle to access it.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and on the cassette tape, it's hidden at the very, very end of one of the sides after like minutes of silence.
You went all out trying to make sure people couldn't hear this song.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, so the song, the reason the song even like exists in a fully mixed and mastered form is that it was originally going to be it was going to be like a transition track into the song Vagina Regulator, which on the vinyl version of the album opens side B, and we kind of decided that it would be better for the album to just go straight into it instead. So this song was kind of tucked away since it was like finished and mixed and mastered and everything. I just tucked it away elsewhere.
It's kind of hard to make a song that transitions from side A to side B on vinyl.
Right. And so yeah, this song was inspired by well, so it's a song that's entirely just shake off your wiener. And the reason that it even exists is because when I was like 9 years old and watching the Weird Al show, this goes way, way, way back. I was watching the Weird Al show as a little kid on Saturday morning or whatever it was. And the musical guest for one particular episode was Hanson. And they played, I think, their song called Where's the Love? And for whatever reason, my little kid brain, instead of interpreting the opening lyric of Hanson's song as whatever it actually was, my brain interpreted it as shake off your wiener. Now that's not what he said, but my brain was just kind of like, it kind of sounded like that. And then like for the rest of my life, that was stuck in my head.
So you've been holding on to this since you were 9 years old, and you were like, I got to get this out of my head. Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah. So I finally like made it into a song, and I thought it would go well as like a transition into Vagina Regulator, because it's like that song is about toxic masculinity and everything. So I was like, well, maybe a song about like a guy trying to shake his wiener off might be like a good song to put right before that, but it didn't really end up working out. But here it is, and now it's become this random kind of little fan favorite. I get a lot of people tell me they really like this song. So,
well, musically, I love it. It's very like it almost sounds like there's an industrial influence to it. And
yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
and I just it's great. I really do enjoy this song. I love the fact that it's just dumb, because I like that kind of humor.
It's so stupid. I just thought it was so stupid that I had to get it out of my head, and I had to make it exist.
I have a whole list of stupid ideas I need to get out of my head and make exist.
Yeah.
But a lot of them require time that I don't have, because it's going to be like a side project of a side project. So it's not going to happen anytime soon. But man, I got to get those ideas out.
Yeah, I know, right?
So what are you up to for MarsCon? Any big plans?
Yeah. Well, in about an hour, I have to go pick up a U-Haul trailer, which is going to contain all of our instruments and a bunch of Needle Juice merch for Table 27. And let's see, like, I'm playing in so many like acts this time around. We're not doing a table in the dealer room this time.
Mm-hmm.
So because we wanted to focus more on being able to play shows. So yeah, Nuclear Bubble Wrap is playing. we kind of roped Austin into this, so the Odd Ditties are playing. Shout out to the Odd Ditties album Backstage, by the way, which came out just a couple weeks ago on Needle Juice Records. It's on Bandcamp, it's on Spotify, it's on all the places, it's on CD, vinyl, and cassette. Really, really, really good album that Austin's been working on for the last 8 years of his life.
I plugged it on Manic Mondays last week. I haven't had a chance to listen to the entire thing yet, though, so I'm not sure what else I should play. But I played the opening track.
Cool. Oh, okay, yeah. Play Ode to Procreation. That's the one Dr. Demento played.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had that one on my list, actually, because I've heard that one, too. That was the single that you guys released, right?
Yeah. And he also performed it at... were you in LA last year for Dr. Demento's
No, I
party?
couldn't make it.
Yeah. Austin played it right there for Dr. Demento.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and then let's see. We're playing a Holy Bongwater show on Saturday. Kendra and I are playing one of our first little like primordial pouch shows. We've played a show before, but we're gonna do some stupid stuff. Our bass player is Regdor and the Fighters. He's gonna play a show. So
you got a whole like Needlepalooza thing going on here.
Yeah, we really do. And then we got King Missile and Dog Bowl there.
Yep.
And it's a whole just cacophony of needle juice madness.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm looking forward to seeing you and hanging out.
Same. Yeah.
Do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah. Well, I just plugged Austin's album Backstage. Go listen to it. You watching this right now, go listen to it. So yeah, you can get that at needlejuicerecords.com as well as a whole bunch of other stuff. King Missile are performing at MarsCon. We have we have a new t-shirt of theirs. It's actually a reprint of an old shirt they made in the 90s, but it's in color now. The other one was only black and white. So we made a color version of it. And also you can pre-order the vinyl, CD, and cassette reissue of Mystical Shit, the King Missile album from 1990, I think. And I think those are the most relevant things to plug. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Well, I'll see you this weekend. And
yeah.
Talk to you later.
Yeah. See you soon.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback. Feedback. You know that segment of the show we do about now? Feedback. Feedback.
Feedback. Alvarant wrote, Luke, sorry to hear about your career change. Best of luck to you in the future. I hope you can find something soon. Thank you, Alvarant.
Thank
you. And over on YouTube.
A-Log! Oh my god, it's you, not again!
A-Log wrote, Spotify playlist for Beastie Boys parodies, eh? Well, knowing Luke, I highly doubt we'll ever see Beastie Rap by the Utensils on there, since he considers that the whitest of the white raps in his old Rap Dementia manifesto. Speaking of which, to answer Luke's question, the Scurvy Pirates from my old stomping grounds of Brooklyn, New York, did that parody of Fight for Your Right to Party called Fight for Your Right to Plunder, which, side note, I did look for that song on Spotify when I was putting together the playlist. It's not up there. I remember that being a Funny Five hit back in 2001. Also surprised you didn't mention Whimsical Will's take on the song where he does it in the style of Eddie Lawrence's The Old Philosopher. We did!
Yes, we did.
Extensively.
Did you listen to the show? Talked about it for quite a while.
Yeah.
I ballyhooed very much about how much I thought it was the best version of Fight for Your Right parody thing. Those were the words that came out of my mouth. I specifically said all of that.
And thanks to this, I've got some parody ideas of my own. She's Crabby and Nice Lady, the latter poking fun of Jerry Lewis. So thanks for that. Yeah, well, good luck with those parodies if you decide to do them. And that's all the feedback we got.
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. And I have a jingle.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's song, or Friday's song, is by Burbles Belly. And Tuesday's song is by Dino Mike.
Holy crap, Dino Mike is back.
Right? Yeah, nice. It's going to be nice to hear a new song by him. So, need a topic for...
Spend some of that Sonic 3 money.
Right? Spend it on the FuMP. Give me, maybe we can get Sonic 3 to sponsor FuMPFest. And, All right. I need a Spotify playlist topic. You know what? I have a note here saying that I should do a topic about bacon. When was the last time I did bacon? And I'm not going to update it until Thursday night anyway, but let me see. I know I've done bacon in the past, but let me see when.
Oh, man, I just realized something I should have mentioned during when Jeff was here for his interview. I should have mentioned the time way back in, what year was that? 2000. When did Worst Album ever come off? 2003. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was around 2002-ish. There was a pilot being made for a show at VH1 from the people that made pop-up videos where their idea was like to try to have people who make comedy music do comedy songs about things happening in like entertainment news and have that be like have people cranking them out, and they would make some forms of music videos for all of these various topics. So they were looking for comedy musicians. And one of them, in their research of trying to find people who made comedy music, found my website, which had a links page that listed like all of my other friends, like virtually everyone who's involved with the FuMP now, and maybe like a few other people were all on this list with like, here's their websites, and you could go there and you could email them. So they used that, and they sent off these things to everybody, and they gave certain people certain topics. Like you can either do this topic or that topic or whatever. And one of the topics amongst those was Demi Moore. So if you were to go back in time to a certain, to a certain year, when like everybody put out an album that had like a song about Demi Moore on it because of that pilot. I'm trying to think. The other topics were awards shows, because I did a song called "And the Winner Is," which actually got picked and used in the pilot. Which is how I got the money to afford to put out Worst Album Ever early. Another topic was Jennifer Lopez, and Ben Affleck. So the whole J-Lo and Ben Benifer thing. Those three things. Plus, there was a fourth topic that I'm completely blanking on. Like Bill Larkin's "Somebody Cue the Band," I'm pretty sure that was one of the award show songs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, like, if you go back in time to like our general group of people's comedy music albums, you'll typically find a song about one of those topics because of that special. So the point is, like, it's neat to have a new Demi Moore song come along, thanks to Jeff Whitmire.
All right, so I did the playlist for Bacon last February, so it's been over a year, so I can do it again. All right. Jeff Whitmire is at Jeff Whitmire 47 on YouTube. Nuclear Bubble Wrap is at nuclearbubblewrap.com and needlejuicerecords.com. And they will be performing at MarsCon next weekend. And... you got anything else?
Nope. That's about it, other than, like, hey, any last-minute people wanting to donate to the fundraiser, go to MarsConComedy.com, click on the shop page, and you can get your copy of the fundraiser, which has all those awesome live tracks from MarsCon 2024 featuring Andy Merrill and me and lots of other people. And if you want to get the whole shebang, get all 19 collections, you can donate $200 at the past fundraisers page, and you can get access to all of them, which would, give us another big chunk of money towards hitting that stretch goal. So anyway, MarsConComedy.com, go to the shop page for this year's collection, and go to the past fundraisers page for the ones from the past, etc. So yeah, that's about it.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice. 3.
I'm Luke Ski, and yeah, go see The Substance. It's awesome.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of Fidem Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Shout it to random people on the street. And be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say,
Hey, mister, wanna buy a monkey?